Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Unnamed Podcast, and I am your host Akash aka Evil Monkey. The Unnamed Podcast में मैं बात करता हूँ कुछ ऐसी अमेजिंग पर्सनालिटीज के साथ जो अपने काम से अपनी लाइफ में तो चेंजेस ला ही रहे हैं, साथ ही साथ सोसाइटी में भी चेंजेस ला रहे हैं. एंड इफ यू थिंक कि आप कोई ऐसी अमेजिंग पर्सनालिटी है या आप किसी ऐसी अमेजिंग पर्सनालिटी को जानते हैं, सो वेल देन टेल देम और यू कैन ड्रॉप मी एन ईमेल on evilmonkeyden@gmail.com. यहाँ पर आप ईमेल डालिए और फिर you never know, you could be on the next episode of the Unnamed Podcast. और अगर बात करें मेरे आज के गेस्ट की on the show, well, he is an man with so many talents. He is a painter, he is an actor, वो एक motorcyclist हैं, and he is also a disc jockey. मैं बात कर रहा हूँ the amazing Black Jack की. जी हाँ, well, if you are into music and if you are especially into classic rock, then I think कि आपने कभी ना कभी कहीं ना कहीं ब्लैक जैक का नाम ज़रूर सुना होगा. एंड if you are into motorcycling, then I डेफिनेट कि आपने उनका नाम ज़रूर सुना होगा. और वेल, ही हैज़ बीन फीचर्ड इन लॉट मेनी मूवीज़. ही वॉज इन नागेश कुकनूर्स रॉकफर्ट, और 2-3 बहुत अच्छी अच्छी मूवीज़ उन्होंने करी हैं. एंड आई नो हिम फॉर द पास्ट फ्यू ईयर्स बिकॉज ऑफ माई एफिलिएशन टू रॉक म्यूज़िक एंड टू मोटरसाइकिलिंग. तो चलिए बात करते हैं मिस्टर ब्लैक जैक से और उनसे जानते हैं कि वाई डू पीपल एक्चुअली कॉल हिम द अर्बन मॉन्क. Hello, Mr. Jack Black. How are you?
Not Black. Jack Black is Black Jack.
It's Black Jack, not Jack Black.
It's been long time. It's been long time since 2014 and all those political. I don't know. You used to have some radio channel or what was it?
Yeah. So I used to work with the Niti Central before.
हाँ, नीति सेंट्रल के साथ करते हो तो अभी तो 6 साल हो गया ना.
हाँ, बिल्कुल. It's been more than 6 years.
So it's okay. Jack Black can become Black Jack. It's all right. No problem.
सही. So how is the COVID situation अभी तुम्हारे एरिया में? How are things?
See, initial March में थोड़ा मने the initial stage was that it was quite crazy. You know, morning 6 o'clock to evening 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, all these very crazy timings and all were there. Abhi matlab things are okay. Restaurants, pubs nahi khule, thode cheez nahi khule, gyms khul gaye. Cinema saying they'll open from 5th. I don't know, but basically at least our side of the city is twin city, you know, Hyderabad, Secunderabad. So our side मतलब ठीक है. It seems to be okay. I mean, वगैरह सब वैसे ही है. Same old. It seems like same old thing all over again. No, like almost normal. I'll put it.
Almost normal. सही.
Night curfew was lifted few days back. So earlier it was till 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. If you are beyond that time, you can't be on the road. Now 24/7, it's free. Go here, go there.
Sorry. So things are a little back to the normal situation now.
At least in this side of town, boss. I don't know Hyderabad city, that side of Tangband, what is it? But इधर तो ठीक ही दिख रहा मेरे को.
Okay, sorry. And of course, like I have a little bit of more affiliation towards Hyderabad also. Like once I used to host, I used to host the Wicked Hour on All India Radio, na? And so like there were many listeners that were from Hyderabad.
Okay.
Yeah.
अच्छा.
So there was a huge fan for that show in Hyderabad. So like we used to host that show around like 1 o'clock in the night, and like most of our messages used to come from Hyderabad, and like it was pretty amazing. Like so there was that culture of listening to music in the late nights and all. And like so your name, Mr. Black Jack, and so you are basically a DJ, and I think you are India's first rock DJ, isn't it?
I like fully dedicated at that time.
Okay.
Fully dedicated. मतलब 88 में शायद मैं शुरू किया था.
Oh, that's way back 88. Oh yeah.
Yeah. 87, 88 mein I started DJing, and I chosen as classic rock because nobody used to have any classic rock playing anywhere here. Those days उतना Bollywood भी नहीं था, बस ये trance, old school disco, all that stuff was going on, and rock guys घर पे बैठ के सुनते थे, बाहर आते नहीं थे. There was no public place which was, giving that kind of listening pleasure for that kind of segment of the audience. So I just took that as my path, and वैसे भी अपना that was the scene. I mean, for me, those days, I just decided that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I did for a good long time.
So what was how was the DJing scene back in the 80s here? Matlab, like you were talking about 1988. So I think not many people would be like thinking of that DJ concept in India at that point of time.
See, I really am not that aware, Akash, about what is the national domestic scene about DJ ka kaun kya tha kab tha. I know for sure that before me there were other DJs also. For me, becoming a DJ was basically my brother-in-law had gone with one of Srikant's teams to US cricket team, कुछ लेके गया था US को. So he had brought back his FM cassettes. FM recordings लेके आया था, तो मेरे को थोड़े दिए थे सुनने के लिए, and I like that concept of talking and presenting music. You know, that radio trip. And my shows have always been like that only. Just playing straight music, it is pulling leg of audience, talking to certain people. You know, very interactive has been my style always. And I think we met first time in Delhi in Cafe Morrison, wo Jim Morrison night pe.
Exactly.
Not mistaken, with Kohli and all these guys, right?
Right.
Kohli and what is his name? That Siddhant.
Yeah.
So
that Cafe Morrison was thing of the past.
So what I'm saying is, we go back a long way, and in those days we used to use these cassettes, boss. Sansui deck, twin deck. Sansui twin decks, two, one on top of the other. डालो एक इसमें, वो खत्म हुआ तो दूसरा फेंको. I remember once I tried to do a sort of a show with dance music. I got a bloody mixer and all that stuff I had. वो साला 32 channel 36 channel क्या था मेरे को पता भी नहीं चल रहा. वो बंदर के हाथ में whatever नारियल they call it, you know. And then it was a major overreach what I did. And then फिर somebody saved my ass. They got me one pre-mixed dance cassette from somewhere. वो डाल के चला लिया. So basically, I've been a rocker only. I've been a rocker most of my time. But nowadays, of late, since rock music seems to have, I don't know whether there is a demise or whether there's less demand, or whether this whole, MNC culture of people from north coming south, south going north, that has brought in this whole Punjabi Bollywood EDM and all that stuff has come in such a major way.
Now moving on, so you have played around, I don't know, up to you must have lost the count for how many gigs you have played, and so any wildest thing that has happened to at any of your gigs?
Wildest, you have to define wildest, boss. Rock वालों को तो every second show is wild. See, wild show. So, in the good old days, it was all straight up music, people drinking and enjoying stuff. And then I think I can confidently say I was the first Hyderabadi DJ to head out of Hyderabad and play in other cities. Means I've had the privilege of traveling to a lot of cities in Hyderabad, and my first major shows were in Hard Rock Cafe, Bombay. They used to fly me out every month to do a gig at their वो अपना Bombay Dyeing compound में एक था उनका. I used to go and do a show there, playback every month. And Luke Kenny also had one of the slots in that series. So for a few months I went there, and even my last few gigs which I did last year were in Bangalore Hard Rock Cafe. I did about 3 or 4 shows for them in Bangalore. So as such, Hyderabad में तो कुछ नहीं चल रहा, and at least for me, I started playing reggae, old school retro, बीच में थोड़ा ऐसा house, and then some Bollywood nights where I would play like original music of Kishore Kumar and all. Mane, it was just a question of fucking being occupied rather than that passion of rock. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Like
Absolutely,
something,
absolutely.
something had changed and market had changed, and adaptation is all part of life, right? So
Absolutely, very true.
earlier, that arrogance that I had, that I will not play anything which is not classic rock. Like even I used to hate fucking Brian Adams, to some
Uh,
degree. Arey, Summer of 69, it is not that is not rock. That is bullshit. Yeah. So from days of that kind of an attitude to finally, compromise to a point where you are playing very different, diverse music. Like versatility
mm,
has always been the key. Like
exactly.
to me, I have kept versatile as my guiding thing in music. Like even in the old days, I used to do jazz nights, blues nights,
Oh,
country nights. Basically, because there are so many types of listeners.
exactly.
So commercial music, though, you can hear the same shit in every bloody corner and hole everywhere in the country. But
Mm,
any other genre, you seldom get to hear. So
exactly.
I used to, my endeavor was, then I just to further educate and educating people about music. I used to give out these CDs. I used to compile CDs and give out. Maybe you would have got one also at one of my gigs, wherein I used to put together a series of music, not for sale. It is a souvenir only. वो सब डाल के
Oh,
to share with people and educate people about rock, because people, they had a very limited idea. Pink Floyd, The Wall, Hotel
ex-
California, Sweet Child of
exactly.
Mine, Whole Lotta Love. Mane, the patent 510 Sultans of Swing. There was so much
Ah,
rock music than just those 5 6 songs. So
exactly.
bands, थोड़ा blues भी सुन लो भाई, थोड़ा Leonard Cohen भी सुन लो, थोड़ा ये भी सुन
Mm,
लो, थोड़ा वो भी सुन लो. So it was interesting, and then I even did a series of shows called the A to Z of rock, where every gig I would take a couple of alphabets or one alphabet. I mean, then next following do CD, then EF, like that, different bands.
okay,
So staying creative.
staying creative. And
And
that's how you have to be stay in the game, right?
yeah. And then we have Opus Radio in Bangalore. So when Gina Briganza was alive, wonderful gem of a lady. So at
Mm-hmm.
that time, I used to do gigs. I used to record shows on Opus Radio.
Okay.
Every month, I would fly down to Bangalore. I would do a show there on a Sunday afternoon during their brunch, and Saturday I would
Mm,
record music for the month. Like
okay.
and what I did special during those gigs was I started collecting music of new artists, people who are like not who are unknown.
Okay.
अभी समझो कि I discovered that अरे Akash is doing some good music online. He's posting some links here and there of his music, little videos. तो लोगों को I
Mm,
used to send them कि बस send me your MP3 file and I'll feature it on my show. And
nice, nice.
that, so I used to take 4 or 5 artists and international, mind you, domestic. So there were domestic artists. There were people from France, US, Israel, musicians
Oh,
who I have featured on my show.
nice.
So I used to have one part featuring new artists, one part featuring my regular stuff, and like that. It used to go on. And the highlight of those series was Woodstock 40th anniversary, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
I interviewed Artie Kornfeld, who is the father of Woodstock.
Oh, nice. That's amazing.
So we are pretty. I mean, the big guys now. We can't say pretty good friends, but we had a very good rapport back then. And I told him, I said, see, for 40th anniversary of Woodstock, I'm doing this online radio show. So can we
Mm-hmm.
have kind of a interview of yours and feature some music from Woodstock and all? He was like game. So usko phone
And,
kara. He was in the studio. We had a chat. We had a talk. In fact, that video is on YouTube also.
oh, nice.
It was a audio video. What I meant to say, it was not a recording.
Mm-hmm.
But morning, he says, I've got my cup of coffee and let's go. And that's all. We talked about stuff and also. Mane done a lot, man, in my time, and yeah, it's been a good, I would say, some 30 years at least. अभी आगे क्या
Nice, nice,
है?
nice.
ये
And like you have been a regular at the Royal Enfield's Mania also, right?
yeah. I've been playing there it's 11 years now, 10 years, 11 years. Like from 400
Mhm.
people to 8,000 people, I've seen how it's evolved as an amazing, from a very humble and very close knit event to a world class, absolutely brimming over the top show with entertainment and all kinds of things. So yeah, I've been part of it all the way, man.
Yeah.
uh, Thanks to Royal Enfield for their encouragement and support. But yeah, it's been great. It's been a great journey so far for the whole experience. The first show we had just two monitors. Two monitors,
Oh,
dude. These chota monitors were all there was for the sound, and even that also was, "Arey bhai sahab, thoda kam karo na volume." And now now they have these full bloody flying systems and everything on the stage. It's a big thing now. And last
yeah.
year was even bigger, where they had two separate stages. Past 2 years, I think, was is become even bigger. So yeah, it's good to be a part of that event. And I've been playing at most biker events. I'm playing for Bob MC also off and on. Played at one Western India, some event is there. Last year July went south to Karjat, played over there. So yeah,
Oh,
very much
nice.
it's a dream to play at a biker event. I mean, rock and biking goes together very well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like, so how do you take your every equipment there on your motorcycle, or is it like
No,
you
no,
fly
no,
it
no.
off there?
I remember in the good old days, I used to carry two suitcases of music with files and CDs and all. Now it's just a matter of laptop with a couple of, I have about 5 or 6 hard disks with stuff. Just, that's all there is, man. One chota bag is all it is that I need now. But
Nice.
I remember one of these. I had attended one of these what do you call this, alumni meets for engineering college once, and I landed up and walked into the hall with this two suitcase and this guy he's the MD of a big steel company here in. So he says, Jack, what is this? I said, this is all my music, man. He said, why carrying so much of stuff? I said, अब क्या पता किसको क्या चाहिए? And then he told me, he said, see, I've got an office. Why don't you give me all this music? I'll get somebody to convert it. And he gave me my first, I didn't allow him because I am very possessive about what I have.
Hmm.
And even then and even now. And then he gifted me my first bloody Seagate terabyte dub. It used to be that vertical white thick one solid.
Right, right, right,
वो
right.
कितने जीबी का था नहीं मालूम, but he gifted me that, and after many years I finally used it when I
Oh,
realized it, So yeah, been there, done that also.
uh, nice, nice.
Coming
And so,
back
like,
to the
apart,
question about
uh,
wildness, I did this series of biker nights, boss, in Hyderabad.
okay,
I did three, and they were awesomely successful. Like the first show was some in a average size pub, 200 and odd people, 273 people. And then the
hmm,
second event 2 months later, like it takes 2 months to get together some sponsors, prizes, vigara, vigara. And there
correct.
was some 300 and odd, and then again it went down to 283. And then I decided, like, wo peak ho gaya, abhi niche, let's stop now. And I quit that show. Like, but those were the wildest fucking events. And I remember
Oh,
the second biker night which I did was wild, man. People had come from Bangalore, Pune, here and there, everywhere for that gig.
oh, that's nice.
It was beautiful. Like I used to get together sponsors, like all these big companies who were kind of who deal in products which are biker related or travel related. I used to literally beg them and make deal with them, get some gifts, get some stuff, and
Hmm.
giveaways. Every 5 minutes, every song there was a lucky draw.
Oh, that's
And the entry fee was just $100.
oh, wow, that's
So
amazing.
for $100 you got a draw every 5 minutes. Every song almost you got had a lucky draw quiz, and at the end of the night there was a 10 top prizes car draw, the
Okay,
main lucky draw. So you got two coupons, and like this all I conceptualized and thought up, like and I used to put my mind, man. It was not just about playing fucking music and people drinking. Like give them back something has always been my
correct.
policy.
And
Uh,
apart from DJing, you have also acted in serials and movies. So, like, tell me something more about that thing.
See, actually, what happened was I used to act on stage with Barry John and all back in Delhi when I was in Stevens. Yeah,
Okay.
Siddharth Basu and all, we are all contemporaries. Apna Kozma.
Mm-hmm.
We used to act. We had this theatre action group in Delhi where I did we did some theatre. I did some theatre in college also. We had a Shakespeare Society, and I remember Jesus Christ Superstar. Mein I did Jesus back in the day. So this
Okay.
theatre bug was there for a while, and one day I had in 2006 I had taken a picture of myself, and somebody had taken a picture of me, and one of my friends who was in cinema, he saw it. He said, "Dude, now you've got that look which is meant for cinema." I said, "What do you mean?" He
Okay.
said, "The expression in the eyes when
Hmm.
the camera." They develop a certain expression if they are self-conscious, like you are not aware of the camera. This is a look which is good for cinema. So वो cinema का साला कीड़ा बैठ गया.
Oh.
And then when Nagesh Kukunur was casting for his movie Rockford, which was the
Hmm.
second movie he made after Hyderabad Blues, so I went and I sort of, what do you say, applied
Or you gave the audition for it.
audition. So जाके मैं गया उधर. I got a small role in that movie, and then it started like that only. Free में करो अपना whatever your your aspirations are, do them any which way, money or no money, it's not always about money. So I got in. That was my first film with him. I did two with him. In fact, I did more also.
Okay.
Aisha Takia and all that were in that movie, but
Ha, ha, ha.
little roles, and then I grew my beard, dude, and my beard got me roles. Like, I think putting false beard is more difficult than having a guy with a natural beard. So some guy, he saw me in Hard Rock Cafe one day. He says, "Hey man, you'd like to act in a movie?" I said, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Hmm.
He turned out to be a very good friend of mine, Naveen, who's a cinematographer, and
Okay.
he told me, he said, "See, we are planning a movie, and when the time comes, I'll contact you." So this is August in one year. The following year, somewhere in May, June, he contacted me. He said, "Jack, can you come and give an audition? We have a role for you," type of thing. So that was
Okay.
Court Security, which was a Telugu movie in which I was a villain, sidekick to the main villain.
Okay.
So basically, a psycho bugger who used to enjoy blood, like when there's some murder or something happening, he only laughs all the time, crazily.
Okay.
So it was a sort of, I would say, one of my big roles, in the sense that I was there from the beginning of the film to the end of the film, and I had something to do throughout.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so that was one good break I had, and then after that I did a TV serial, Danav Hunters, which was one of
Hmm.
those Disney come somebody's वो channel पे आता था, some channel, I don't know.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
TV serial I did, I got a sadhu's role in that, Baba ji ka role.
Hmm,
So,
hmm, 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 hmm,
so Dari Ka Faida, it was got me a lot of things. Then I did a movie with Sandeep Mohan recently in Bombay called
Okay.
Nirmal Anand's Ki Puppy, which I don't think has been released in India as yet, but he takes it to different festivals and all. So I've
Okay.
not seen the movie. And बस ऐसा some 5-6 I've done, yeah. Movies, it's been good fun. Big roles, small roles, it doesn't matter. I've not pursued it, like, I've not set my mind to it as
Correct.
somebody sees, they like. In fact, Sandeep Nirmal Anand Ki Puppy on Facebook, somebody saw looking for bikers. Kind of, there was one post by the director, and
Okay.
somebody tagged me. I sent him my picture. I said, "Boss, I would very much like to be a part of it. What do you feel?" So I went as
Hmm.
myself. Jacket, wohi rings, wohi long beard, and whatever, as myself. In fact, I've done 3 movies as myself.
That's nice.
They like it, like, "Boss Jack, this is what 2 I've done with bike, along with my bike also. Come on your bike and go here, go there, do this, say that." So it's like, okay, suits. When people want biker, they got me. When they want sadhu, kapda utar ke saffron, bagwa pen lete, bas.
So, in a sense, it's the same rule, isn't it? A true motorcyclist is a hermit in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, there's a nun who calls me urban monk, so maybe yeah, there's some truth in that. I don't know.
And like we're talking about your motorcycling, and like you are, I'm because you told me that one of your friends wanted to interview you when he was just concentrating on your motorcycling, and you are popular motorcyclist throughout the country. So, and you started your own club called the Wolf Pack. You are called as Papa Wolf, right?
Yeah. Correct.
So like now this club is not only the in Hyderabad or that place, but it has spread across the country. So how did that thing happen?
See, basically, I was in a club earlier. I was in two clubs earlier. One club split, and then few guys separated, and then the next club that which we guys had founded in January of one particular year, 2010, I think. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to grow the club, and the idea behind them was that no, let's just stay friends, like 10, 12 punch, just do be here. Let's just be this big only. And my idea was to like add people. Like, why don't we grow as a club? Like, why don't we do something? You know,
Correct.
Sticking in a small circle has never been my concept of anything. So
Right.
I introduced one young member to the club, and I said, "See, this is my friend of mine. He's also from advertising fraternity. We'd like to have him as part of the club." So these guys said, like, "Where have you done? Have you gone to Ladakh? Have you done this? Have you done that?" If a kid has never done anything, that means he'll never opted to join any club. So then, me
Correct.
and this guy, we decided कि चलो ठीक है बस, let us start a club of our own, and we did our first ride. Then Facebook, how it is, social media, सब लोग देखते रहते. In those days, I was also peaking as a DJ also, so there was a lot of exposure. 4,000 friends on Facebook, which I already knocked off some 3,500. Now I am under happy few who I have spoken one line to, rather than a bunch of people. So like that, Delhi came, then Hubli came, then like that slowly, then 8 cities. But I can honestly say, in the past couple of years, we have reached a plateau, intentionally so, कि 100, 150, 200 लोग है बहुत है. That too because out of those 100, 200, whoever there are just a core of 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 at a stretch who are active guys.
Exactly.
Most people, they want to belong. There's nothing wrong in that. They own bikes, which is great. They come for occasional rides and events, but not everybody. That's not the central theme of everyone's life.
Correct. Very true.
Everybody to have the same intensity about anything. So वो जो core है तो है, and we have our annual meet where some 80 to 100 people come every year. So like it's cool, and that's enough for us, and we are quite happy where we are, and we are not looking for having a political party with thousands of members. We are just happy with biking and doing something. Yeah, and the average age is very young. It's not like all old timers. Probably I'm the only old timer in the group. Rest are all 25, 30, 20. Like, this is the age group that we have, and now we are a 10-year-old club. So guys have grown, they've got married, and some guys have kids, and it's grown in that way. But yeah, we are happy family now, and everybody knows everybody, and it's cool.
Oh, that's pretty nice. Yeah. So, like, which is the longest ride that you guys have done, and like with like ample amount of riders in it?
See, ample amount of riders is going to an RM or something where you have like maybe 15, 20. The most riders who went for a ride was around 90 plus to Madras Bob MCRM, where we were, I think, 80 or 90 plus. I don't exactly remember. Finally, we all congregated in Kanchipuram, and from there we all rode to Mahabalipuram together. So that was one great trip. But the longest ride I've done is Hyderabad, Pune, Bombay, Ahmedabad, Udaipur, Delhi, Rupnagar, Punjab.
Oh, nice.
And back Chandigarh, Delhi, Agra, Nagpur, Khajuraho on the way diversion. As well, 5,083 kilometers.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the long.
And when did you did this one?
2015 January.
Oh, that's fairly. मतलब 5 साल ही हुए अभी.
हाँ 5 साल हुआ. I see, because due to my age and other factors, I can't do this Ladakh trip. Others, I wish I had could do it. But other than that, yeah, done a lot of rides all over the country, man. Calcutta, Punjab, Goa, n number of times. Chennai, Coorg, Tamil Nadu, yeah, Bangalore to 4-5 times. Yeah.
Nice. And like अभी का जैसे time चल रहा है, so like people are experimenting in COVID times, like people are doing something different. So like you started painting. So how did so basically what inspired you for that thing?
See, basically, I won't say, it would not be honest for me to say I've not done painting or art at all ever in my life, and this is some new thing. When I was in school, I started. Then my dad is pretty good artist. He used to make us sit and draw vase, kursi, ये वो when we were kids. So that
Okay.
inside वो थोड़ा बीच में था. Then in 1980s, Black Cat Black Pub में पूरा जो अंदर का whatever the paintings were there, ambience creation, everything I had done. Then I had done a commission for the couple of works for the Pune pub. So this was in 80s. Then 80s के बाद I stopped. I became a DJ. Then that became my full-on focus.
Okay.
Then this, I used to work in oils, which is a very long and tedious affair. वो सूखना, then do the next layer kind of thing. So I was very curious about this acrylic paints, and then I attended a workshop in February. Where some people had come from Calcutta, some ladies had come for Calcutta, and they had a workshop. They charged some X amount of money, you got a free drink and all that. But apart from that, it gave me a chance to see what is this acrylic all about. And I liked it.
Okay.
And shortly after, I decided, like, "Theek hai bhai, abhi, let me try painting." And then this COVID thing came along. So I had by then bought some 6-7 canvases. So now I'm saying I'm doing mainly original work. Earlier I used to try and copy stuff. Now I just, whatever comes out of my hat, I do, and I post on Facebook. I have an Instagram account, Jack Jig the Artist. And people are buying, grace of God, people are liking what I do and encouraging and supporting. So yeah,
Nice.
Let's see how it goes. It's a new journey for me, and I hope it progresses to some level in life. As I just posted a thing, Picasso did some 5,000 paintings, out of which 1% are known.
Say. And so like, what are your plans once this like COVID situation dies down, or like is like subdued to a lot of extent?
See, basically, I will keep painting. I am sure after COVID goes and bars and restaurants and all open, work will again come back, because I majorly, after doing a lot of retail and brands earlier years, now I am doing a lot of F&B places. I work independently. I have a thing called Tortoise Design, which is out of my bedroom, out of my studio, out of my whatever you want to call it. It's like, everything is from home. So hopefully there will be more work at that time. Painting to chalte rahega. But most of all, I want to publish my second book. I did a first one, Tanav, in 2006, self-published. I'm hoping to publish the sequel to that once this COVID is over. And I definitely am looking forward to a ride, man. Like, I would like nothing better than to get the fuck out of the house for some 15 days, travel north, Dharamsala, Manali, Vopura. I've not done that circuit till now. I want to do what I call my old school ride and visit all my childhood places: Dalhousie, Shimla, Dakshai, Dehradun. Like, that one circuit up north.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. And hopefully, if you come around here, then we might ride together.
Sure, man. Why not? But I don't think anything is going to happen for the next. I think we can, according to, if we follow the dots and if you follow as many sites and pages and all I do, I don't think it's going to happen in 2022. So yeah, life, like as Jim Morrison, to quote him at this point, would be a very sensible thing and perfect thing to do. The future is uncertain and the end is always near. Kind of that line is the only thing that comes to mind in times like this. You don't know what the fuck is waiting for you around the corner.
And so, like, if there are some young riders or young aspirant people who are looking to find their right calling, so what would be your advice to them?
Calling as in anything, writing or
And,
art or poetry or whatever, cinema.
anything under the sun.
See, I can tell you in short, there are two taglines of two brands which have inspired me. Which have kind of the two things I can say which have two lines which have inspired me over the years. The first one which turned my life around was Johnny Walker, Keep Walking.
Hmm.
I was going through a bad patch and I walked into this Diageo office and I saw this poster lying of Johnny Walker and at the bottom was written, Keep Walking. Fuck, it just
Right.
jumped out at me and hit me on the face and said, fucker, this is what you need. And the other thing which around the same time which I came across was the US Marines have a tagline somewhere which says, be all you can be.
Hmm.
So follow whatever your instinct or whatever sort of provokes you into acting, like action, I would say. What provokes you into action, and just follow it and see where it takes you. See, because I am a firm believer, and I've told many young people this, that when we work to make somebody else rich. We
Correct.
get a salary, but we are funding someone else with our hard work. But
Correct.
God gives us talents, whatever the talent may be, singing, art, blah, 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 maybe doing mathematics or designing programs and platforms and logarithms or whatever it's called. But that is a God-given gift, and God gives us these gifts. That is our riches.
Exactly.
That is where our riches and our real calling is. What is within us.
Hmm.
You get my point. There's a big difference
Exactly.
between working for someone else and earning $1 million and doing what is coming from within and earning $1 million. Plus, you will earn more if you are successful.
Correct.
And it's coming naturally because it's inherent talent.
Absolutely.
So I would advise people, ki boss, this is the secret of life. Find your inner talent, what your gifts are, and have the courage to pursue them, maybe parallelly to bread and butter job, but you never know where it will take you.
Exactly. Very true. Very true.
You never know where it will take you. And I know that art to some extent is one of my talents. I have avoided it for many years. People have said, "Arey tu karna, tu kyun nahi kar raha? Arey nahi baap, kaun baithta, kaun karta." But now somehow circumstances and COVID may have a downside that you can't go interstate, but the upside is that you have a lot of time on your own and do a lot of introspection and realize what shit you have been wasting time and money on and what you really should be doing with your life.
Correct. Very true.
So this is the upside of COVID. It has given people a chance, if they have the common sense and the wherewithal to understand, that it's a great opportunity. It's one massive global meditation trip going on. Journey of self-discovery.
Journey of self-discovery. Absolutely.
Nothing is of any use to me now. Like, why did I waste all this money, dude, on all this shit? It's just lying. It's of no use to me. And you live from day to day caught up in the rat race and you never stop and think about this.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
True.
So that would be my advice. Discover your talent, and the younger you pursue it, the better for you. I'm already 62 now. I 62. I think maybe it's late or maybe it's the right time. I don't know. But it's never too late.
It's never too late. Exactly. Well. On that note, thank you very much, Jack, for coming on the Unnamed Podcast and talking to me.
Pleasure, Akash, to be once again sharing with you. It's always been a pleasure. I wish you all the best and many more great podcasts with other people. Thank you so much for this opportunity, man. And
thank you very much.
Do share the links and also I can share it with others and maybe थोड़ा दूसरे लोगों को भी थोड़ा small gentle lessons here and there from an old man.
Absolutely, man. Why not?
Take care, buddy. God bless you. Jai Hind.
Same here. Jai Hind, man. Thank you.
सो आई होप कि आपको ये एपिसोड ऑफ द अननेम्ड पॉडकास्ट बेहद पसंद आया होगा, और इन केस यू आर लविंग दिस पॉडकास्ट देन डोंट फॉरगेट टू फॉलो दिस पॉडकास्ट वेयर एवर यू आर गेटिंग योर पॉडकास्ट, एंड इन केस यू वांट टू बी फीचर्ड ऑन दिस पॉडकास्ट, या आप किसी ऐसे शख्सियत को जानते हैं जिसको आप चाहते हैं कि वो इस पॉडकास्ट में फीचर हो, देन ड्रॉप मी एन ईमेल ऑन evilmonkeyden@gmail.com, और मैं आपसे मिलूंगा अगले एपिसोड में एक और अमेजिंग पर्सनालिटी के साथ. टिल देन यू गाइस स्टे कूल, स्टे टाइट एंड लिव लाइफ ह्यूमन साइज.